Hello again everybody, this is my second video about the modifications I've made to my beloved Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled from 2018. And in this video I will talk about the swap from the original exhaust to the double gun titanium exhaust from Mivv. Something I did quite soon after I got the bike was to remove the heat shields, which I found annoying. And I also painted the end mufflers with black heat paint. And this was a look that I really liked. And the noise was in perfect level, of course, because it's the original exhaust. And as a matter of fact, I removed the end mufflers just to test. And it turns out that it's quite quiet still without them. But I couldn't get away from the fact that this is a heavy lump of metal, and for those of you who saw the first video, you can hear me rant about this bike being too heavy. So this led me to investigate the interweb for another exhaust that was much lighter. And there are many options out there, but most of them seem to be extremely loud, and they don't really look the part either. Now that can be debated, of course. But I found something that resembled the original one, and that was the double gun exhaust from Italian Mivv. Some places in the internet it says that this exhaust is made of titanium. That's not entirely true. It's the end piping, the double guns that are made of titanium. The rest is stainless steel, but fair enough. It's pretty cool anyway. Now, according to their website, this exhaust does not fit the Desert Sled model, but I couldn't really understand why, so I went ahead and ordered one anyway. Simply because I am an idiot. And here I've just received the new exhaust from Mivv, Italian design and technology. Let's see how that works. It's supposed to be a lot lighter. I hope it's not too noisy because I'm not a big fan of noise. Well, let's see. The main reason for swapping the exhaust is to shed some weight from the Scrambler. That's actually the main reason. I don't mind the looks of the original one. I kind of like it. So I was looking for an aftermarket exhaust pipe that looked similar, but was a lot lighter. And this is one that I got from Mivv. Now, the final exhaust is made of titanium. I know that. This looks like stainless steel. Could this be titanium? It's very lightweight. Maybe this is titanium as well. It doesn't look like titanium. So these are the parts that came with this package, and this is the muffler. And I must say it's a lot smaller than the original one. I do hope that it can keep the noise as low as possible, but I have a feeling that this could be quite loud. We'll see. So I've removed the original silencer, muffler, canister, and this is a big lump of steel. And it also it fills up a void in between the swing arm and the engine, which means that it actually collects a lot of gunk if you go out into the dirt. So it's not an ideal position there. Hopefully the new one will actually work better. I started to mount it here. Now, according to Mivv's webpage, this silencer is not supposed to fit the Desert Sled, but I've seen on other YouTube channels that they managed to make it fit. So I figured that, well, I'm gonna remove this this rubberized attachment point. I think this one will actually fit in there, and then I will use this one on the other side of the vehicle and see what happens. If it works, it works. All right, as the company explained, it didn't fit perfectly, so I have to go on and modify it. I'm not totally surprised about this. It was a bit of a chance taking to hope for the best. So the bracket there that's supposed to work on the regular Scrambler, I cut it. So I removed this bracket piece and oh shit, that was hot. And the outer one there, and now I went on with the hammer to hammer that piece down. And I hope to be able to use that section there, to actually make a hole for the attachment point. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Now here you have a size comparison in between the original muffler and the Mivv one. So you can see clearly that there's a size difference. Now this is a wide angle camera, so it might warp the image a little bit, but so it's much smaller and clearly much lighter then, and it doesn't have a catalyzer inside either. So it will be noisier, no question about that. So after trying this out and trying to fit it for a very long time, I came to the conclusion that the best way to fit this to the Desert Sled model was simply to turn it upside down like that. So and then the more regions to the engine became much better. They got more space to the engine. That upper thing fills no purpose anymore, really. I might remove it, or I might try to put it in the lower bit, but it's not necessary because the pipes will sit. It sits rock hard once you get this attached. Now that means that the original bracket was completely pointless because it was pointing backwards and quite useless. So I had a professional welder putting this on. You need a bit of distance, and you probably need a bit of a bigger attachment area to this thin plate of metal. This is just a millimeter at the most. That's why they put on this supporting bracket as well in the first place. So I utilized that bit that was left over, which we then welded a stainless nut onto, and then that onto this one. It looks a bit crude, but it's quite well done. It's all stainless. And if you want to try this out yourself, I do recommend that you test it and you make absolutely sure where you're going to put that hole, because you don't want to mess around with that. That happened to end up exactly where I wanted it. So it will be attached to the left side of the attachment point for in the motorcycle with a long bolt like this. I needed some spacers to fill up some voids. That's fine. Now what I do like is that this thing weighs so let's see, we ended up at 2 kilos and 168 grams for the whole shebang, which is not bad considering that the original weighs That was actually more than I expected. In this picture you can see how I attached the end pipes, the titanium ones, to the motorcycle by using the rubberized supporting bracket from the left side. You can also see that I drilled an additional hole there in the bracket simply because I thought that was necessary, but it proved not to be. But hey, I maybe shaved off another 2 grams from the exhaust, who knows? And it turns out that it's not too noisy at all. It has a pretty tough sound, but not annoyingly loud. I like it. Well, thanks for staying awake through this nerdy video. In the next one, I will cover how you hide the gas canister to the rear suspension that some of you may have noticed during these videos. Haha, don't miss it. See you there.